Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing the biggest knife that I've handled to date, the Rajah II. Let's power through those close-ups. I wanted to mention that I am borrowing this knife from another YouTuber, Maxlvledc EDC. He was nice enough to let me try this out, so definitely go give him a follow if you haven't yet. I'll leave a link below. This is the Rajah II, designed by Andrew Demko and manufactured by Cold Steel Knives. Andrew Demko is a designer who has been making knives since 1988. He's worked with Cold Steel Knives and created the Triad lock, the Scorpion lock, and recently he created the Shark lock under his new company, Demko Knives, which he started with his brother. If you'd like to learn more about him and see the other things he's done, check out his website. I'll leave a link in the description below. The manufacturer of this knife is Cold Steel, and they've been making knives for the last 3 decades. There's a lot of history and a lot of great innovation that's come from Cold Steel over that time, so I will also leave another link to their site in the description as well. Let me tell you about the Rajah II, the biggest knife that I have handled to date. One of my friends that I've made through this amazing EDC community has been on the lookout for a ridiculously large knife that I can do a review of. She saw the video of this knife on Maxlvledc EDC's page, and she helped me reach out to see if I could borrow it. And as you can see, I have it in my tiny hands. This knife is a folding knife that is larger than anything I'd be able to fit in my pockets as an everyday carry, but let me go over this knife and its fun features. You can open this knife in a few different ways. First is by using this thumb plate on the edge of the blade here. And it's designed to fit in your pocket where the thumb plate can help deploy the blade as you are taking it out of your pockets. There is no way that I can show this to you for my pockets. Seriously, look at this. This is ridiculous. So here's a demonstration of my boyfriend who actually has pockets large enough to carry something this big. You can also deploy the blade by pressing in the lock bar located on the back of the knife here and doing a wrist flick. The blade locks into place by what is called a Triad lock, which operates similarly to a lockback, which is a locking mechanism most commonly found on the more traditional pocket knives. The locking mechanism uses a rocker arm that pivots in the center, and a lug on one end of the arm grabs a notch in the blade's tang to lock the blade in place. The locking mechanism is great for being able to handle the impact from chopping. Continuing on, the blade from the Rajah II is designed after the kukri, which is a knife with a long history. Historically, a kukri is defined as a short sword with a distinct recurve in the blade shape. This shape was designed to be useful for a variety of purposes, from a traditional cutting tool, chopping, and as a melee weapon. This shape originated on the Indian subcontinent, and it was first recorded around the 7th century. As with most things that have been around for hundreds of years, there's also some myths surrounding the knife. One of the more common myths is that the blade must draw blood before being sheathed. Luckily, it's just a myth and there's going to be no bleeding today. The blade on the Rajah II features a flat grind, great for any task that you may need, even opening some cheese bags. Go see my YouTube shorts if you're confused. This version is also a stone-washed finish. This beast of a knife features a blade length of 6 inches with an overall length of 14. So let me show you what this looks like in comparison to some other knives. First, the Baby Banter, which is comically small. Then, my Civivi Elementum, the OG. And then the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. As far as a fixed blade goes, This is what it looks like in comparison to the Steel Will Roamer 300, the biggest knife that we currently have. The blade steel is a new one for me, that is Japanese AUS 10A. It is a high carbon steel that is mainly used for kitchen knives, medical equipment, and heavy machinery. This blade steel is tough with good durability, and it also has corrosion and rust resistance as well. The handle material for the Rajah II is called GrivX on Cold Steel site, and this is their own brand name for what is essentially a fiberglass reinforced polymer that is grippy and it resists the elements. The interesting part about this handle is the strategically placed curves and grooves. There are 3 to 4 ways you can use this knife. First is at the very front near the cutting edge where people can choke up for fine detail work. The second is a normal grip for everyday tasks. And the third is for holding towards the end of the knife, where you will have the leverage and weight for heavy cuts and chopping. The fourth is more self-defense or combat use. To carry this knife, you can use the pocket clip, which is ambidextrous. However, it is not a deep carry pocket clip. Some sites have mentioned that you can carry this by attaching it to your waistband or belt, and my boyfriend can even fit this in his front pants pocket, but it is so big that it's not comfortable. And there is literally no way that I'm going to conceal this. It's just too big for me to carry every day. The retail price of this knife that I've seen is about $110 on most sites like Blade HQ or Knife Center, and it is going to be more on Cold Steel's website at about $180. So let me get into the reasons why I like the knife and things that I think could be improved. So what I like about the knife is the various different grips that you can have with this knife, and I'm also really drawn to the kukri shape with its beautiful curves. And that just means I have to find a more small, reasonably sized kukri for every day. As far as the negatives go, most of it comes down to this knife just not being designed for people my size, and that's okay. It doesn't fit into my pockets, and it doesn't really fit into my hands comfortably. My fingers are too small for the finger grooves, and it creates a weird hot spot for me as I hold this in like a regular grip. The back grip is honestly the most comfortable for my hand. It took me a little time to get used to deploying the knife too with the triad lock mechanism that is new to me. It was quite comical. So that's it. That's all I got. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Did you love this, hate this, or are you as neutral as someone choosing between gray and gray? As always, I try to end with something inspirational, something nice because everything is just a raging dumpster fire. So my inspiration or cheat code for you today is that if you bought a soda and it's warm, wait, why would you do that to yourself? Just kidding. If you want to make the can colder faster, you can wrap a wet paper towel around the can, pop it in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Any more than 20, and it will probably make you double sad because the can might explode, and you'd also have to clean. And then you won't have any soda. So if you can please subscribe and share my channel with your friends, I would appreciate it. Thank you everyone for taking the time and making it to the end. My self-esteem thanks you. Pants. Ridiculous. Keep going, because see, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Hi. What's the mama? What are you doing? What are you doing? Odin, come here. Come here. Hi. His tail is out of it.